Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I would associate myself with the questions of Ms. Custer just now. Being in the Northeast as well, my dairy farmers in the Hudson Valley and Catskills and Central New York are feeling this very acutely, and they believe that some type of regional variation might be useful for them, and I'd like to explore that further with you after this hearing. I'd also, Dr. Dykes, you had mentioned the letters that you had sent, you and Mr. Mulhern jointly, relating to the Canada issue, and that's one that also has raised concern for dairy farmers in New York State.
Yep.
And I'd appreciate if you could make that available to members of the committee and to me.
We will do that,
Those
sir.
correspondence. What is the precise regulatory change or device that the Canadians are using to exclude certain U.S. products from that nation? Can you explain that in more detail?
I mean, should I
Yeah,
take?
you can talk that one, Jim.
So there are two changes that are underway. One has to do with the with ultrafiltered milk, and we have been for the last several years quite a bit of ultrafiltered milk, which is basically farm milk that is put through a filtering process to concentrate it some. It's a higher protein, higher solids product, shipped into Canada and used in cheese manufacturing. Canada has changed the pricing structure to discourage cheesemakers in Canada from purchasing ultrafiltered milk from the U.S. That's one problem. That's the loss.
How precisely do they do that when you say they change the pricing mechanism?
So Canada has a very highly regulated milk pricing system. If you think U.S. milk prices are highly regulated, you've seen nothing until you've seen Canada's. And a supply management system. So with that supply management, farmers are limited in the amount of milk they can produce for the market. It is pretty much a closed market. Under WTO obligations, there's been some opening. That's what ultrafiltered milk we've been able to ship in there as a result of WTO agreements. The change being made is within the pricing structure. So they will sell milk to cheesemakers at a lower price, which will make the milk they've been buying from the U.S., this ultrafiltered milk, non-competitive, uneconomic. A similar change, different but similar in concept, with this new special ingredient class 7, which is a provincial change. It now was put in place, I believe, in Ontario first, and may be adopted across Canada, will price skim milk powder at the world price, and which really is not consistent with Canada's overall supply management system.
So on that point, how does a change effectuated by a province within Canada comply with WTO and NAFTA obligations, since we made these agreements with the nation of Canada, not with a province of Canada? And wouldn't those type changes done at the regional level within Canada run afoul of NAFTA and WTO standards?
We think it does, and we think it is in contravention to Canada's NAFTA obligations, and that is a case that we're discussing with the administration and hope that they will push that issue.
And we also, they're also expanding that from the one province across all the provinces as well. So it's going to become a nationwide issue if it isn't already.
Yeah, it would seem quite troublesome that if a state government in New York, in the United States,
Right.
were acting similarly, it would seem to be against international agreements that we have signed. And so I'd like to explore those issues further with you and for the members, the benefit of the committee. I think it's important that we address it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Jim yields back. I'd also like to get on the record the fact that Canada misgrades our wheat going north, that they automatically downgrade the quality of our wheat just arbitrarily, capriciously. We've raised that issue with them often.